How are you? Today, I really actually want to talk to you about the essences of sacred union as we're anchoring the divine union codes more deeply into the physical world, as we're moving into these levels and layers of embodiment within our own energetic systems, regardless of how you identify, masculine or feminine, transgender, any of those things, all of it, non binary, all of it is just about the internal alignment, the internal union as a very deep preparation for embodying sacred union with another on our planet, right? So I just feel that there is a very, very deep shift that has been occurring. We've talked about this for a while within the collectives as the feminines are sort of coming out of their very deep transformative stages in moving into a new level of transformation within the physical world. And the masculine energies are moving into a new level of their own transformation as they're learning to discover what feels in alignment for them truly, as many of those who identify as divine sacred feminines have embarked on. And of course, there's no judgments of where any of us are on this journey, but this is talking about those overarching collective patterns and templates that those at the forefront, the forerunners of this shift in divine relationships, sacred connections, and embodying these energies of sacred union and unity consciousness during this time have been embarking on. So, what I'm going to do now, as I said all of that, is pull some cards and see what other messages want to come in around these sacred union essences. I'm going to pull for the feminine and the masculine, and we're going to go into some deeper physical world messages with this. And obviously, take these messages for your internal energies as well as anything external in any of your connections. So for the feminines, we have precognition, psychic ability, future vision. And what's coming through is regardless of how you identify, these energies are meant to work simultaneously inside you. You may identify with one more than another, but when we're really deepening into harmonious union states, we do have a deep inner union energy that's vibrating that frequency of unity consciousness from within first. So, as you're accepting and embracing and loving all of the parts of who you are as a human being, this is how we move into those sacred union energies. Okay, loves. So, as the feminines are bringing forth this energy of precognition, psychic vision, and future vision, psychic ability. So, what's coming to me is many of those of you who identify as sacred feminine have been in these energies of learning how to work with and develop your intuition, or it was blasted open. What's coming through is that this is also occurring for many of the masculines at this time as the masculines bring through this energy of the moon maiden and new beginnings. This to me is further signifying this energy with the moon because the moon generally signifies the feminine essence, where the masculine is the sun essence in these deeper intuitive states. And so it's like where it's sort of coming together, as you see. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay. It's like she's holding up the moon and look at right here. So it's so much speaking to me. Look at how these two flow, that both masculine and feminines are harmonizing their internal feminine energies. deepening into the intuitive energies as each one of you, regardless of how you identify, embrace, love, and honor your internal feminine essences. It opens the energies to deeper intuitive abilities, as well as setting the precedence for a new beginning for the sacred union energies. Okay, I'm going to pull more on these together because of how they came through so gorgeously connected. It's 9:19 here right now, and I just felt guided to share that for whatever reason. All right, let's see what we have with this. Wow, okay. So the way this is coming through to me is it felt immediately like a masculine, but again, this can go for any of us in this state. Okay, it's just coming through with the masculine energies. So this feeling of feeling disconnected, uncertain, and yet there's this essence of wanting to align with the highest timeline, with the highest power. And with these new beginning intuitive energies, it's sort of like what I'm seeing is this energy over here that's sort of like this higher essence coming down, turning into this lightning bolt, opening up the connection to the earth deeper for any of you who may want to expand your connection and embodiment onto the earth. But this is coming through right now more strongly as the masculines or your internal masculine energy. Because, like I said, the feminines have been doing this. So, regardless of how you identify, this masculine essence within is being called to deepen into embodiment on the earth, into all of who you are, embodying and embracing all of this essence, the parts that you may have denied, including your internal feminine. Now, what I'm seeing with the way these cards came out, right, is this opening into the earth to create space for the masculine to plant his seeds of what he wants to create, of his true essences, of his true dreams and abilities, and not based on, again, what society told him his role was meant to be, how it's supposed to look, and how he's supposed to present, but actually allowing all of his true self to come down, to come into his body, into the earth, and then allow those informations to be seeded onto the planet first for himself and then for the collective. Now, this happens in a way through the feminine essences, but each one of you is individual. So you will identify or connect with this in whatever way resonates for you. I know how I do it. Like I talked to you guys about the pillar from source down into the earth and your energetic connection, your own stream, your own Kundalini essence throughout the whole stream, having full power and access to all of your own stream and connection, I believe is one of the main important ways because then you're in your own direct connection. So just honoring and asking to shore up your own connection. Like I said, I have a way that I do it. It doesn't mean it's the only way. But I do think the most important key piece is that each of us has our own sovereign direct connection. Okay, loves. And that doesn't mean you're not able to get support if necessary or to consult or confirm or affirm with others. I think that's an important part of being human on this planet is to be able to strengthen into that collective, and it creates that unity consciousness within a community setting. So it's not all meant to be all alone, but having your own stream of pure connection and consciousness for yourself is a very important foundational piece for you to be able to show up at the table as that sovereign being, as that full ray. that full twin flame, twin ray, rainbow ray essence within, all of the chakras open, all of the chakras aligned, working with those as it's coming up. And I'm going to connect with this as I did yesterday. It doesn't mean that it's always perfect all of the time. It means that you are mastering through whatever is coming up in your system, physically, emotionally, spiritually, by holding space for yourself to go through this embodiment process of all of who you are. This is a process, my loves. This is what we're doing. And it's an important part because it's creating that potential not only for you, but it's strengthening that stream for the collective, for all of humanity, as those who are ready to align with their true timeline and their true potential will have access to moving into these energies much easier with each one of us that goes through this process. Okay. Which is ultimately what we want, right? So, for those of you who have been brave enough to be at the forefront of this, you may see people going through it much faster as you're moving through. That doesn't mean you did it wrong. It means you were a forerunner and you helped pave the path at the beginning. So just honor your process wherever you are, however you are. All right. I'm going to get a couple more cards with this. We have another 5, the 5 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the 8 of Swords. So I'm picking up that there's still a stream of this process of going through some grieving, sort of feeling left out in the cold, to embodying those higher energies and working through the parts where there was a feeling of restriction or binding. I am feeling very deeply. This is something that the masculine collective in general is embarking on in a new way. And again, this can be feminines or masculines, but it feels like a bigger portion of the collective in general on our planet is going to be moving through these next waves of ascension, whether they're privy to it or not, whether they're aware that that's what's happening or not. Those of us who sort of know the lingo and the energy will be aware of it. And it doesn't mean that we have to force that down anyone's throat or even explain that to them unless it feels guided and they're open to that information. Either way, we can just simply witness them in their transformation in an unconditionally loving way, in continuing to choose which parts you will participate in or not, but honoring everyone's essence and energy to have the space to go through this process again with space and grace without expectation. This is bringing me to a very, very important energy that I myself have been working on within my own system around releasing and unraveling the energy of performance. And this is interesting because we can move out of the energy of needing validation from others. And then you're self validating and you're starting to share out into the world. And then you may find that you start to feel this pull of needing to be or act or do a certain way all of the time. And it feels important if and when you feel that you allow yourself to drop in, take a step back, truly check in with yourself and make sure you know the essence and energy that you are moving from. Is it coming from your guidance or is it coming from pressure of performance, of being expected to be and do in a certain way? And I think this is coming up because, especially for those of you who move into more public or leadership positions, people will be looking to you for support or for guidance. And if you are able to maintain or do things a certain way for a certain time, it's also okay if you're needing to take a step back, revise, revisit, and adjust to where you are now. This happens in our relationships, our connections, and our family. As we are going through these upgrades, as we're moving into those next versions of ourselves, sometimes those reset points are important. And it's important, I have discovered, to honor the need to step back from needing to perform in those old belief systems around things needing to be a certain way, dropping back into fully trusting yourself and your guidance. Because sometimes, from a logical world perspective, it wouldn't be logical to take a step back. But sometimes, from an intuitive point, it's completely necessary to take a step back. And what I have discovered happens oftentimes when I personally get guidance like this is I'm on a trajectory and I'm going and I'm growing and it's doing well. And all of a sudden, I get hold up, wait a minute, kind of see what's going on. And it's so beautiful because most of the time, if not all of the time, it's because there's a point in the system that has another opportunity for another level of growth. And they're showing me this Hierophant card. It's almost like you're going along and there's something that you're not able to see. But if you sit and be still, like this whole new staircase of potential in opportunity opens up for you. So sometimes taking a step back when guided actually gives you the information that you've been looking for while you were running down that other stream. Okay. So sometimes it's about doing what's logical, and sometimes it's about just following your intuition. I personally have found that even when logical things come to my mind, I check in with it intuitively. And if need be, I wait for my answer for it to feel aligned. And if it still feels like it's in calibration or uncertain, I sit quietly and wait. Throat chakra is going through some upgrades now as we speak as well. Hmm. I feel like I want to get one more with this to close it out. We're going to get it from the True Love deck. These energies of sacred union, preparing for sacred union, coming into internal sacred union. Commitment. Beautiful. As you make this commitment to yourself, my loves, and really homing in on building that life that you are wanting, working with your own internal energies, and again, welcoming in the energy of that moon, that essence, and embodying it into the physical world, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, into an internal balance. This again allows for these energies to open up in your life, in your world, in your experience. Okay. I feel like I actually want to read from the deck on this one. Let's see what it says. A healthy commitment is the unshakable bedrock of a loving, secure relationship. This is why commitment to the self love. When you truly commit to being in a loving relationship, you actually create another living entity. There is you, your partner, and then there is your relationship. You will have the commitments to yourself, commitments to your partner, and commitments to the relationship. All three of these elements will need ongoing love, attention, and nurturing. Naturally, it's important to consider what you're committing yourself to. And it's imperative to commit to loving the person as they appear to you in the present moment, not how you think they should be once you knock them into shape. It's vital that you see through these delusions as well as the temptations to diminish potentially stressful habits or circumstances. In an existing relationship beset by problems, it's important to commit to your own health and well being first. Once you're feeling more balanced, you will have more positive energy to share. Commitment can be a prison or the key to freedom and great personal growth. You have drawn this card today because your angels and guides are reminding you to commit or recommit to your own happiness before you begin a new relationship or attempt to revive the one you're currently involved in. True commitment is not about trying to get more from the other person or signing contracts that hang the threat of legal recourse overhead. should one of you grow in an unexpected direction. The unhealthy commitments of trying to change or rescue someone become a draining obligation in which no one can be truly happy. When you're ready to commit to your life and who you need to be, an appropriate love match will appear with a commitment that equals your own. So incredibly gorgeous in confirming with what I spoke about aligning in your own sovereignty and self-commitment first. And I know many of you have been doing this, but it just speaks to what I believe is a very deep essence of embodying sacred union on our planet is we begin to embody those sacred union essences within. And again, this is about noticing the essence and the energy of an individual and their embodiment of sacred union essences within their own being, and then how they're living that in their life in all of their relationships, not just with a twin flame, a divine counterpart, or an intimate relationship, but how are they navigating these energies within all the areas of their life? And even if we're not in those spaces just yet, setting that intention and that commitment for yourself to embody these sacred union essences within every single cell and within every single area of your life, my loves, and giving yourself the space and the grace and the honor to integrate all of that gorgeousness. And the beauty of it is that you embody more and more into these sacred union, unity, consciousness essences. Your life just begins to take on that magically beautiful flow and essence of manifestation and creativity because you're in alignment with yourself. You're in alignment with the earth and with creation and whatever is actually meant for you versus trying to force things to be a certain way. And that starts with letting go of trying to force yourself to be or do in a certain way. Again, unraveling the energy and essence of performance and dropping into your own personal truth within each moment. And if you're not sure what that is, taking the space and time to allow yourself to discover what it is for you now. All right, my loves, we're going to leave it there. Commitment to self, commitment to what is in alignment, releasing and unraveling the energies and essences of obligation that pull us off the course of our true intended highest potential. Commitment to the self, and commitment to the highest potential will support you within reaching those goals of joy and playfulness and fun and camaraderie and reciprocity and sacred divine union that you've been wanting. All right, my loves, we will leave it here and I will see you very soon. Love you. Bye.